Alright, the first thing you guys want to do is remove these screws. I have this little tool right here. I forgot the name of it, but I'm pretty sure you guys seen it. And I'm just gonna take off all these clips. There's one broken, and then we're just gonna remove this weather stripping around the front piece. You're gonna want to slide this piece kind of up and then down to get it under the latch. So we're just gonna remove that right now. Alright, now since we got that removed, we're gonna go under the car, drain the fluid, and I'll get under there to show you where to drain it.
Alright guys, apologize for the background noise, but it's a little windy and there's a leaf blower going on. But from the bottom of the car, or under the car, on towards the passenger side, or I guess the right side of the car, there's this little screw that you unscrew, and then the coolant comes out. You probably won't have any coolant coming out because, let's go back to the top.
This screw, you unscrew it and make it come off, and all the air will come through here, and then it'll drain the rest down through the other side. But looking at the car, this is driver's side. For all right-hand drive cars, I mean, it should be the same, but you remove that after taking the other one out. So I'm about to do that real quick and get back to you guys. All right, one of the next things you should do is disconnect the fans, but I found that it's a little bit tricky trying to get to the fan connector. So there's two. There's one right here, and then there's one right there. So I'm gonna remove these brackets. These are 13s, and then you're gonna need a 10mm socket to be able to take off the fans from the radiator, and I believe there's 4 on the bottom. So I'll show you those when we get to them, but right now we're gonna take these off. Just kidding. These are, or I'm not sure if you can see them, but these 4 bolts are 12mm. So I'm using a ratchet extension. All right, the next thing is to remove or disconnect the fans. I took this one off already, but you see it kind of like slides into that little clip. What I did is just use a flathead and pried it out, and so now you can see what kind of connector it is. So I'm gonna disconnect these, and then I'll get back to you guys. Next thing you should do is there's 6 bolts, I believe. There's 2 right here, and then there's 4 on the bottom. I'll show you right now. Actually, they're size 10mm. So as you can see, those are the fans. There's 1 there, 2, 3, and then 4 over there. It's still kind of leaking, but I removed the fans right now, and then I'll let you guys know if there's any issues that come into it. There's something else you gotta remove. All right, well, you can see I removed it. Unfortunately, 2 of the screws in the bottom had sheared off. So this one and this one, so I'm gonna have to figure that out. But these are the fans. Since this is a naturally aspirated engine, and we're going with something a lot better, and this is a good time to plug in. Shout out Mishimoto for sponsoring the build. You already know the company, awesome brand. You know they're known for their cooling stuff. Anything you guys need, check them out. I'll leave the link in the description. Big shout out for Mishimoto believing in the build and believing in me. So I'm excited to put in the new radiator. But we will have to do something with the fans since this is a naturally aspirated, like I said, and the radiator is for a turbo MR2, but we'll make it fit and I'll show you guys how. All right, next thing we're going to do is now remove the radiator. So there's a couple things we need to do. Let me see if you can guys see it. So there is that hose clamp right there. There is a little connection, I believe it's the water temp connection. You want to disconnect that as well. And then on the other side is the other clamp. So let me take those off and I'll get back to you guys. All right, as you can see, the radiator's out. It was a pain to remove them. I had to remove the front hood latch, and this was just I believe it was a 12 as well. Here is the old one. You're gonna need a 3/4 socket to remove the water temperature sensor, and as you can see, the bolt holes don't line up for this fan. So what we're gonna do is there's a bolt here, and we're gonna remove it. We're gonna separate the fans, and then we'll kind of see where we can line it up. I'm pretty sure we can line the top ones up, and then we'll have to do something else about the bottom, but we'll get to that. And then I'll place you guys right here so you can see. So these are 10 millimeters. All right, so now, so you see these 3 holes have, you know, for alignment. Oh, I don't know what that was, but these look like it only aligns up on top, which is unfortunate. Maybe eventually I'll buy a Mishimoto fan shroud, get some new fans after, but for now this is what we're working with. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to just bolt them up from the top, and we might just have to zip tie it on the bottom for now. Let me show you guys. So if I line it top, the bottom ones are not aligned. So I have to figure something out for the bottom. I think I might zip tie them to something. Your water temperature sensor goes in here, so just remove this cap, add all your sensors and stuff. But Look at the quality, guys. Even has a serial number. Check out those welds. Logo Mishimoto. Shout out those people over there. Super excited, guys. Can't wait. Alright guys, I'm doing a little voiceover because as you can see, this time lapse, it was pretty long. The whole clip was, I believe, like an hour, a little bit over an hour. Just the thing here, as you can see, that we were having trouble trying to get the radiator in because there was two plastic pieces that would hold the radiator on the side. I'm not sure, at least for the naturally aspirated MR2s, they have them. I'm not sure about the turbo ones. This radiator from Mishimoto is for a turbo MR2. The only thing is, if you wanted to keep the stock fans, it's just like I did, just separate them and they would work perfectly fine. But this whole project is pretty easy. The only thing that really took the longest was getting those radiator hoses back on. It was a really tight fit. So my dad was helping me kind of, from the top while I was from the bottom trying to just push the hose up, and he was trying to glide the hose back onto the radiator. I suggest you, at least for the passenger side, putting the hose on the car first and then on the radiator, and then on the driver's side, or whatever side you start on, just do the opposite. So then you put it on the radiator, then do it on the driver's side, because it's, I don't know, for some reason it was easier for us, and that's how we did it. Alright guys, so you see I separated the fans, and we had to make some custom bolts to fit because they were too short. We couldn't use the old ones. There's a little nut back there, both sides. And for the bottom, we were able to use one screw, and then we had to zip tie the rest. But they're pretty sturdy for the most part, at least this one is. Alright guys, so I'm putting everything back together, and I remembered my little hood prop, or front whatever you want to call it, holder is broken. So I ended up 3D printing this little guy. I'm not sure if it's gonna fit or not, but a check so I can put everything back together. But I'm gonna put all this back together, or actually I'll probably put the coolant in, and then try to bleed it, and then once I figure it out, everything's good to go, I'll come back to you guys. Alright, you guys can see I have my little 3D printed piece in there. Hopefully it works. We're gonna find out right now. But another thing, while we were trying to place the radiator inside. These were in the way. I can't remember which side this was, but they clipped in, and we had to take them both out for it to fit. Fortunately, you can't see the radiator here no more, but it worked last night. I still gotta bleed it a little bit. Overall, I'm happy. You guys check out Mishimoto. Like I said, I'll leave the link in the description. Shout out to Mishimoto for sponsoring the video, or the build with the radiator. Thanks for watching. Catch you guys later.